Hello, and welcome to Dice Friends. This is episode 2 of Best of Intentions, a D&D 5th edition game that's part of the Adventurers League organized play campaign, Oracle of War. I'm Dale Friesen, and I will be the Dungeon Master today. Joining me are 3 fabulous performers, and I'll let them speak for themselves. Jacob, who are you playing today?
Hi, my name is Jacob Burgess, and I am going to be playing Patches, the Warforged Rogue Bard.
Thanks. Corey?
Hi, I'm Corey Dickinson. I'm going to be playing Holler, the Warforged Fighter, and I'm very disappointed my suggestions for the inn name were not taken.
Oh, they were taken and then put somewhere.
And also we have Andy.
Hi, my name is Andrew Count, and I'm playing Marcel de Thrashk. I'm a half-orc ranger.
Okay, and you guys are hanging out at the aforementioned inn. We've already given you your assignment, and you're hanging out waiting for someone to show up. But hanging out with you there is Tamara Goodpot. She is a halfling. She is working at the base. You hired her after the last session, and currently she is at the bar, and she's holding a soup ladle threateningly, and she is staring at the pot of salt that is on the bar.
Tamara? What's happening?
And she turns and looks at you and says, this wee beastie, and she turns back, and the pot has moved like a couple centimeters, and as soon as she looks at it, it stops. Don't.
I see.
Don't. I know you're there. Just leave it alone.
Be
Tamara.
careful, Marcel. I think she's feeling salty.
So you call her name, and she turns to look at you again, and the salt pot falls off the bar, and the crockery smashes, and she just shouts with rage, and she goes chasing off with her soup ladle. You don't know what she's chasing.
So Holler runs into the room, flail ready. What's happening? Where are the bugs?
They're gone. We got rid of them about a week ago. Week and a half?
Then what's with the screaming?
I don't know. I'm going to find out. And Marcel pursues Tamara, pursuing whatever she thinks she's fighting. I want to help.
All right.
Tamara the salt got away from her. It moved on its own. We all saw it. She didn't. It only moved when she looked away. It was distressing. I'm going to clean that up now.
Yeah, you say there's no bugs, but this place was in better shape a week ago.
So in the past week and a half, you have repaired most of the windows. You have gotten rid of the termite-infested furniture remains. You have replaced a number of things. This is far from a functional inn, but it certainly looks different from the way it did a week ago, and now you know Holler's opinion. Yes, Jacob, I see your hand.
I have the cantrip mending and have been using it with liberal glee.
That has certainly helped. In fact, I believe there is a salt pot that could use that right now.
That's happening.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. Just pick it up. Most of Patch's magic, and it comes through music. For example, he has the spell Thunderclap. When he actually claps, it's this giant sonorous bell that rings out. So he picks up the bits of the pot, sort of scuffs some of the salt underneath the bar out of the way because he's not going to get a broom, takes the pot, put it in his hand, and with sleight of hand fixes the pot and sets it back on the counter. There. Good as new. We'll just have tomorrow clean that, yes? I've done my part. And Patches leaves.
Yeah, so I think Mistress Goodpot and Marcel have run out of the room. She's got her soup ladle that she's shaking. Marcel, what are you doing with her? Like, she's just running around looking for something.
I'm following something, and I think I would like to. I don't want to necessarily spend a spell slot on this, but I would like to maybe roll some sort of check to see if I can track the thing that she's tracking, assuming that it's not in her brain, that it actually exists in three-dimensional space and reality.
Yes. So why don't you give me a tracking check using, I would guess, your survival roll.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Let's see here. So I got good bonuses to my survival roll. So let's see. So D20 is a 5. The plus perception is plus 4 is a 9. Plus 1d4 for my hunter's perception is a 13 altogether.
Hey!
All right. So you don't see anything in the direction that she's running. There don't seem to be any tracks leading the way she thinks there should be tracks.
Ooh. Okay. But something did move that salt pot.
Yes.
So I say, Tamara, what are we chasing? Is it insectile in nature? Is this place haunted?
It seems to be pushing things off the shelves and off the bar. It must be a cat. I think it's a ghost cat.
A ghost cat. Oh, the most pernicious of kittens. Oh, no. Well, I have to take your word for it. I can't find anything else here. But yet I'm still looking around the room. Is there any other evidence of it moving? Can we hear anything as we're pursuing this thing? Is it completely quiet?
So, in addition to being good at tracking, you also are particularly good with undead.
Yes.
So, if you like, you can make a roll. I think this will be an intelligence roll, but you're doing it with advantage and trying to figure out what kind of tracks a ghost cat, if this is a ghost cat, would leave.
Right. Okay, I will do that. I'll roll the intelligence with advantage.
Is undead your favorite enemy?
It is.
I love you, Andy. Thank you so much.
Although I did not roll well. I rolled a 9. Yes. With advantage, I rolled a 9. I've got a -1 to intelligence as well. I rolled a 10 as my highest number.
You got your hero point.
That's true. I can add D6. And you know what? If there's a ghost cat, I want to know about it. So let's do that. I'm spending my hit point on this thing. I want to solve this mystery. What we got? We got a
thing called hero
3.
points.
We got a 12 altogether.
All right. Well,
hell yes.
With a 12, okay, so if this is a ghost cat, it would only be leaving footprints or anything trackable if it wanted to. Now, cats sometimes want perhaps illogical things according to the humanoid brain, but the fact that you are not finding any tracks at all does not discount this being a ghost cat. Now, something knocking the pot of salt off the bar could be a ghost cat, but even with the 12, you can think of 5 or 6 other things it could be. So you just don't have enough information at this point. But clearly, she thinks it's a ghost cat. So do with that as you see fit.
All right. Well, I say, Tamara, This is a mystery, no? This is so it's a spice of life. So this is what we will do. If there is one thing a cat cannot abide, it is a breakable thing on the edge of a table. So I go into come with me. So I bring her back into the main room where there is a bar. I suppose.
And she sees that the salt pot has been mended. Now, has she been watching Patches do this? Is this a familiar thing to her by this point? Or is she shocked?
I would imagine she is probably shocked because Patches would definitely be would have wanted to hire her and then go behind her and just be like, yes, and we just need this place entirely fixed up. Thank you very much. And then just very surreptitiously going, oh, that's broken, I hate it. And then fixing it.
Got it. So I think she looks at it and she stops and she's like, but, and she runs over and she picks it up. And I mean, the salt is on the floor and the salt isn't in the pot, but the pot is perfectly fine. In fact, it used to have a tiny crack in it, and now that's gone.
Patches pokes his head around the corner. Magic! And then goes back to his chair by the window.
And she just heaves this massive sigh. And sees all the salt on the floor and goes and gets her broom.
Excellent. Well, she gets the broom. I go to the bar, and I get 4 shot glasses. And I put them on the edges of different surfaces around the room, on the edge of the bar, on the edge of a table, maybe on a shelf, just at the edge, just at a nice batting position that cats might like to do. And I even go up to one and I just knock it a little bit with my hand, just like that. And then I gesture to Tamara. Tamara, now we have set our trap. Now we get to do the best thing when it comes to tracking, the waiting and the watching. And I get her to follow me and sort of hunker down behind a piece of furniture watching these shot glasses.
Holler, what's happening over there?
I'm just standing there in the middle of the room.
Yep.
Just been watching this whole thing, confused.
What's happening?
I guess if I'm not invited, I'll just hit the training room. Just tootle off.
No, Holler. You stay. No, we should see how this plays. Yes,
I know that one.
We should see how this plays out, I think. And then Patches leans up against Holler, like Holler is a door frame, and watches this play out. And
Holler's staying very still because that's what stay is.
Okay. So a thing is going to happen, but I want to give you a couple of out of character pieces of information first.
Sure.
The first one is that any of you who want to play Mistress Goodpot may at any time. She's an NPC who you have hired to work in your base. She is available if you feel like she needs to be part of the scene. She's not going to be anywhere outside of the base, but if at some point you want to throw her into the scene, you can go ahead and do that.
Excellent.
Yes. I had a second piece of information, but I'm going to hold off on it right now because I want this to happen. And if I give you the second piece of information, it might not happen. There is a crash from the pantry, which you can't see from where you are.
The plot thickens. Quick! I gestured to Mistress Goodbye. Mrs. Goodbye, we must follow me into the pantry. Run.
So you two run off and find there's a pot where she'd been had some dough rising, and it has been pushed off of a shelf in the pantry. So the other piece of information is that you know that there's an NPC who's going to be showing up for you here at the inn. That's going to happen when one of the 4 of us says that it's happening, and we all have that ability. We can keep playing with ghost cats or whatever this is all night too, because, we should just do whatever's fun.
True.
I personally think it's tactically advantageous to know what this invisible thing is in our base. But I also think that them showing up now, while we're literally all crowded around the entrance to the pantry, would be pretty funny.
All right.
What say the rest of you? No, I'm asking. I'm not dictating. Absolutely not.
Sure, that sounds fun.
It seems fair.
Okay.
So there's only one doorway in and out of your inn unless you have modified that. Is it locked?
No, it's an inn.
We're open for business.
Okay. So she walks into the inn and she doesn't see anybody in that open area. So she
There's
sticks
definitely a bell.
There's definitely a bell?
There's definitely a bell.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So I guess she'll ding the bell rather than seeing you all hunkered down in the pantry.
Oh no, I meant for the door. Yeah,
doorbell.
yeah,
Door
This
chime.
isn't like a
there's
ding
definitely
ding
a
ringing for service.
No.
This is on the door. You hear it when it. Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you then will hear the door open.
It's at the door, quick! And I run like the movie Clue, with the butler showing.
We all just like as a clump, please.
Yeah.
Move.
leaving.
Patches is unwillingly stuck between Marcel and Haller. Just.
Okay, well, I think Mistress Goodpod is going to try to salvage what she can from what has been broken. And all of you are heading out to the main area where there's a woman. And none of you recognize her, a human woman, but she looks at Patches with a certain amount of astonishment. And she's like, wait, 12? You're the person working for Galanda? After this? And what happened to you? You're fine. Okay. Fine. All right. Well, I'm here from Chana. I got a job. I'm supposed to get you into the dome behind the dwarfs. They're going to be there in 12 hours. I guess we're just going to do this.
Who are you?
Wait. Do you not recognize?
Like, do you have a name or a number?
Yes, I'm Sorella Orion.
Oh, Orion.
And I served with 12 here, and she points at Patches about 5 years ago.
That's 1 year longer than I can remember.
Oh, you don't remember?
Not anything since the day of mourning, no.
Well, that's convenient for you. Okay, so anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to get to the dome, and I'm going to get you inside. We got about 12 hours before they show up. I suggest we give them some wiggle room to be fast. You're going to have about an hour inside the dome.
An hour inside the dome?
Yes.
All right.
You apparently know what you're doing in there.
Yes. Of course we do. What are we doing in there?
We're getting a bell tap and the security system and
salad spinner.
Yes, a salad spinner.
Yes.
What's qu'est-ce que c'est? The bio spinner. Or whatever that is. We have to get it.
Patches is double checking his book. Yes. Good. Yes, we have to get all of those things. There are more repairs to be done here, and they're not cheap.
No, definitely not.
Yes. I'm sorry, what was her first name again?
Sorella.
Well, I'm incredibly sorry that I don't remember you. I hope I didn't do anything bad.
It's fine.
Yes, that's exactly the type of tone that somebody uses when something is fine. Well, I'm very cold right now. I'm going to go. And Patches will go to the training room.
So let's talk about this training room. This is something that you added since the last game, I think.
We did.
And how does it work?
The training room. Give me 1 second to search the PDF.
I could answer the question instead if you like.
No, I got it.
Okay.
You asked.
Yeah, you asked. You sit back. The training room, which we added, if we spend 1 hour training in the room and pay 5 salvage, we can either, when we hit with an attack that deals damage, you can deal an extra damage amount of damage equal to our personal proficiency bonus. And then, or when we take damage from an attack, we can reduce the damage dealt by an amount equal to our proficiency bonus.
And you don't all have to choose the same thing. You can each just spend the 5 salvage and have either of those boons.
Yeah.
Is it a one use, or is it for the 24 hours?
One use. It's one use, yeah. But what's really cool about the base mechanics is that, like, if we build this thing out smart and and actually have time to prepare, we can do a lot of cool stuff before we go do a mission and just stack bonuses. Yes. So we all picked the training room because we thought that that would be the best and most immediate benefit first. Yeah.
Sounds
and
good.
then maybe library next. I don't know. There's a lot of options that we're all going to talk about. Not here. Is it hot in here? Did it get hot in here? It feels hot.
It got warm, but I'm still thinking about like 50 pit traps. Just the interior, just sunken down a level, spikes.
Yeah, I mean, if we buy 50 pit traps, that's pretty much building a basement, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that works.
It's probably cheaper than a basement. Like, come on.
Yeah, and way spikier.
Good for customer service. You'll always be able to find your customers.
Don't go down there. That's the basement. That's where we keep our spikes.
All right, so Sorella is ready to go whenever you are. She's expecting the dwarfs to show up at the dome in about 12 hours.
Okay. And how long will it take us to get to the dome, approximately?
Couple hours.
Couple hours? Okay.
Could you describe the area around us a little bit? I don't know if it's completely barren, because I know this used to be a country. So are there a lot of ruins near us? When we get to the expo center, is that like on the edge of a city?
So the expo site was a manor house right on a river. So
okay.
Dome is actually a misnomer, because that would imply when it got to the water level, it stopped, and it does not. So it's more of a
misnomer.
Sorry?
Okay. So a misnomer.
Yes, thank you. And the manor houses were fairly spaced apart, because that was a pretty nice part of the country. Okay. On the way there, there was a rail line that was put in by them for the House Cannith expo. House Cannith makes the stones that House Orion uses to run the rails, so they can get special favors when they need it. And this was a big expo being done to show off a lot of the new technology, such as the Warforged Colossus, which had tromped out the previous week before the expo started. And that is where Marcel was working on the day of mourning. So this was a hilly area. It was, so am I describing the place around the expo site, which you have visited, or am I describing?
No, that I think you've got it. We're kind of in the French countryside, essentially, and this big mansion was the site of many spread out mansions in this area where this expo was.
Yes. Yeah, the specific place within the dome is where all the tech was. It had the highest security, which is what the dwarfs were looking at last week.
Okay.
The other manor houses nearby, and in fact, the so-called expo site, it was where someone lived. It's just they would every few years put on a huge show and say, okay, we have some cool House Cannith stuff you had to see, and people would come from all over. And you know, when the Warforged were first announced and sold, They were probably announced at an expo much like that one.
Okay. So this is the E3. The E stands for Everon.
That kind of works. All right. So you have time to each use the training room.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide whether you want a defensive or your offensive boon.
Yes. And because I was the one who displayed the most enthusiasm for the base, I am the one who was volunteered to do the paperwork. We have 50 salvage to use.
And it will cost you 5 each. Also, you need to pay Mistress Goodpot every mission.
Yes. Yep. 10. We need to. So essentially, whatever we make, we subtract 10 from. That's upkeep for cleaning services and all of the good pottery that Mrs. Goodpot does.
Excellent.
All right. So, what's the plan? You've had your time in the training room.
Yeah.
Got the training room, and this the Cirilla Orion person. Is she going to stay here, or is she coming with us on the journey?
Yeah, she's coming with us. She's getting us in, I think.
Yeah. Okay, right.
So, if you're using the training room, which of the two benefits do you want? Pretty much attack or defense?
Right. Well, I guess I will go in there and quickly do my spend 5 salvage points on some attack.
Got it.
And then when I'm through with that, I'm right back in that main room watching those shot glasses. Just that I'm determined to figure out what this is, and I'm making small talk with Cirilla Orion while this is happening, and encouraging her not to make too big movements, lest it scare the cat.
Yeah, I think by the time you come back out, they've all been smashed.
Oh, then I go up to Cirilla, madame. What happened? Did they all get battered off one at a time? Was there? Did they all crash at once? What happened?
I was outside.
Oh, Lucia, I will find you. I don't know where you are, but I will find you. And he starts picking up pieces of glass. Is it going? Is it pussy goes puss? It's all right. Come out. Just very tense and just all focused on his surroundings, waiting for everyone else to get ready.
While Marcel is focused on his surroundings, Patches is like pretty much taking the pieces of the shot glasses and fixing them and putting them back.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my bout in the training room. Get attack points.
I will also. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Corey.
Then I guess the most important thing I can do is try to come up with a name for the cat. Like,
ooh,
it's gonna be tricky.
I will also use the training room, and I will focus on defense.
Poltergatto? Is that anything? Is that?
I'm writing it down.
Is that a cake that steals other cakes?
I thought, what's the word for cat in Spanish? Is it gato?
Gato.
Yeah. Oh, gato. Poltergatto.
Yeah.
Yeah, gato would be a ghost cake, I guess. Especially Marseille's French, so it makes sense.
Neck ghost. Neck ghost.
Oh.
So Japanese for cat ghost. I don't know. Thank you very much, Andy. If we don't name this cat by the end of the thing, I'm going to be thinking about it all fucking week.
Well, we have all the time in the world. Goodness. Okay, good.
I figure we hang around the inn for about 9 hours and then meander over to the dome early.
Yeah. I mean, if we can get there early before the dwarves get in and figure out a way to avoid them, and if we can get our 3 items and get the hell out, because my thinking is that this extra dome that's over this thing was one of the items that was at the expo hall. So we might be able to figure out how it works or attune to it or something so that we can come and go as we please. Maybe. I don't know. I want to see how this this lovely lady, Sorella, gets us in through the dome. I want a dragon mark so bad.
All right. So at some point, you get to the dome.
Yep. Excellent.
And Sorella is ready to just hunker down and wait for the dwarfs. Yes, I see your hand, Jacob.
Yes, I just want to be clear, because you said at some point. I would like to change that to with ample time.
Now the time that I had previously been given was that you were waiting 9 hours before leaving.
Waiting 9 hours before leaving.
Yep.
That's what you said.
That's what I said.
So I feel like this isn't a Jacob talks to Dale. I feel like this is Patches talks to Holler and Marcel.
I think that's a great idea. Pardon, why would we be waiting so long when we could get there early ahead of them? They wouldn't know that we were there. Get in, get out.
Aren't we waiting for them to open it before we open it? I mean, my fallback is we dig under the dome.
I somehow think that's not going to work, but it's worth a shot. Getting there early as a good scout and getting the lay of the land, it might be a little more boring, but I mean, Marcel, you could probably back me up on this. The waiting.
Absolutely, it's the waiting and the watching is the most important part of tracking. However, there is a ghost cat, and we don't know how. We don't know the ghost cat could leave, and we will never find the mystery of the ghost cat.
Sorrel, can you clarify why we're waiting for the dwarves?
Are you asking Sorella?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because they're the only people who can open up the dome.
Get in and out, yes.
So I'm going to make it so you can sneak in behind them, and I'm going to give you a thing you can install inside the dome so that hopefully in the future we can figure out a way to get competent people into that dome.
Now, we'll set aside competent people put a pin in that. It occurs to me that these dwarves need somewhere to base, and I think that with our contacts that we've made so far, I think it's safe to assume that they're not based in Salvation Station, essentially. I think they probably have somewhere here to be. One would imagine that has to be close to the dome. Here being the Mournlands.
Not the inn.
Not the inn, no. The Mournlands in general, not the inn in specific, but you'd better believe that if they were staying here, they would get impeccable service and probably grifted. So we could spend the time trying to find out where they're based, or we could wait for them and go in the dome.
Last time they went in, they were in for several days, close to a week. And then they came out, did some hunting, went back in, and
so
then they went to Salvation for some supplies, and they were at the Tin Pot Tavern where they stayed, and that's how we know they're leaving and coming back here.
Okay, so they have to go, but Salvation's the only place to supply anywhere close by. Getting back and forth through the mist wall, getting all hibbity-bibbity. Okay, so they might be actually...
place.
Yeah, they're... Okay, well, yeah. I suppose we just wait for them, but... I mean, if you want to leave in 9 hours so you could solve the mystery of the ghost cat, I'm not going out there alone.
We can leave now. It's going to take some time to hide me.
Yes.
It's true. Well, I think cats are very territorial even after they are long dead. I think this cat will be back perhaps the very next day. We can go now. I think we will be fine.
Shall we? To Sorella. Shall we?
I'm ready when you are.
I believe we're ready. Is
Okay.
everybody well equipped? Feel ready for our day?
Should I bring the cart?
I don't think we need to. No.
There's the dome.
Okay. So you head to the dome and you hunker down, taking the time to hide properly. Sorella has two things. She has a weird ice pick that has a lot of spirals and zigzags and such burned into its oversized handle, and she gives it to Holler. So, once you're inside the dome, find a place that is not easily visible to other people in the dome and drive this into the side of the dome. And then she goes and out of her backpack, she gets a big clay pot that has a lid on it and has probably 20 or 30 cords wrapping it shut. And she is very careful as she gingerly unwraps it. And then she unscrews the top of this pot, but she does not lift the pot, the lid. And then she steps back 10 or 20 feet. She's like, all right, 12, I think you're first. Approach the pot, please.
That would be Patches. The 12 you knew is essentially... We should probably establish this now. The 12 you knew is essentially dead. I can't remember them. I'm me. They're them. We may look the same, but we're probably very different people.
Okay, so you're going by Patches now.
Yes. Well.
All right. Well,
I mean, not now. Forever. Up to 4 years ago.
Well, you're still first.
For what?
For the prep, so that you won't be seen behind the dwarfs. So I need you to walk right next to that pot, please.
And what's going to happen?
I'm going to prepare you to be hidden.
Fantastic. What kind of hidden? Polymorph turned into a little mouse and put inside that pot. We have a ghost cat problem, you know. These are important bits of information to have.
Oh, you know, we could postpone this and I could try to find out how to polymorph you into a mouse. That does sound more fun to go with your ghost cat problem.
I see. Blackmail it is, then. I walk towards the pot.
All right. Just lift the lid off and put it on the grass next to the pot.
Mm-hmm. Just one last question before I do this. Did I like you very much before?
Sure.
Great. Lid.
All right. So there is an extremely fine, extremely shiny powder filling this pot. And as the light catches it, each individual speck just gleams. And she's like, yeah, just stand still once you've put the lid down.
I'm a Warforged. I'm very good at standing still.
So she uses Mage Hand to take a big double handful of this stuff and just pour it all over you. And she's like, I'm not sure that's enough. And she does this twice more. So you are covered in this lovely, some of it is kind of goldish, some of it is silverish. You're getting some nice rainbow hues off bits of it.
This is going to take forever to get out.
Huh. Okay, next.
I will go. No, only after you.
Please.
Patches
Go away.
mopes away from the pot.
If I go, there might not be enough left.
Oh, I see. Well, you make a good point. I say, well, thank you very much. And I approach the pot, and I close my eyes, and I'm ready for my little silver particle shower.
And it is everything that you had hoped it would be.
Oh, very nice.
And Patches was correct. It gets everywhere, which is good because you need to be, covered in this stuff everywhere.
Excellent. I say, woohoo! What a rush! Hold on. Gum.
And I hustle over to the pot, take the lid, gently put it on the grass, and then stand very still.
I think the lid was still on the grass. I don't think anyone had. And then, so it takes probably most of the rest of this stuff to cover Holler.
You can just hear like a keening, like.
Okay, so you have all been thoroughly covered in these lovely little shiny particles. Jacob, is your mic on?
What, me?
Oh, yeah, there. I thought you said something, and I thought I saw your mouth move, and I didn't hear you. So
No, that was the internal screaming.
Oh, okay. All right. So this seems counterintuitive because it is very, very easy to see all of you. But Sorella has something set up where she gets notified once the dwarfs are about to turn the corner. And she quickly uses some sort of, well, you don't know what it is. She does something, and the three of you disappear. And the pot disappears, and all of the sparkly bits that were on the ground all disappear. And she says, okay, so make sure you go in right behind them, and you have no longer than an hour to get back out. Within that hour, you should be able to walk out of wherever it is you're walking in, but I cannot guarantee that you can get out after that hour. And so help me, Patches, if I have to go in there and save your wooden ass, I'm charging that halfling double.
That's fair, but I mean, the privilege.
Marcel, can you hear me? Marcel!
Hear you.
Oh, I can hear you, but I can't see you. Oh, this is so crazy! Oh, no.
So-
This is the best. And I pick up a stick and I go, oh, look. It is as if the ghost cat is among us,
It's the
holding a
ghost
stick.
cat! Oh,
None of you can hear each other because you are magically silenced.
Oh.
No!
Oh, no.
No!
Oh, well.
Thank
We
you.
had fun, though.
Oh no, I'm certain you both were still talking to each other, but couldn't hear each other, and then a stick was just going like this.
I think once you pick up the stick, you get some of the gleamy bits on it, and it turns invisible.
Oh, and Marcel goes, ooh! Ah, well, must be careful with this. With great power comes great responsibility. Oh, so good.
Follow
Other
the dwarves.
All right. So this is going to give you a plus 15 on your sneakiness checks. So this is probably just a formality, but please roll them anyway.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
How's a nat 20?
Ooh.
Totally impressive.
That one!
That one.
No, it's 16. Or 17. Sorry.
Oh,
I got an 18, so 33.
wow. All right. Well, see what I said about it just being a formality? Everything's fine. You guys are all over this. And it lasts for a couple minutes, and then it wears off. So I think that you've walked into the dome, behind these dwarfs. They've gone off. They're clearly on a mission. They have somewhere specific they're going to. Marcel, you used to work here. You know they're going to the security office, which makes total sense. They are once again led by Anandi de Kundarak. You worked with her at the expo. And so they march off, and after a couple of minutes, you turn visible. Whatever was done to this shiny stuff that's all over you has stopped being effective. You can also hear each other.
Excellent.
Patches is already crouched behind something, breaking line of sight to the dwarves or wherever the dwarves went, just going...
I feel like since we couldn't see or hear each other, once we entered the dome, I immediately went to go look for somewhere hidden to stab the ice pick into the dome.
Cool.
So it's the only thing I had to do.
All right. So, generally speaking, there was a great big manor house. It has a couple of small buildings near it. The dwarfs are headed to one of those. The river goes by. The water looks quite stagnant. There are 4 big expo pavilions. They're sort of semi-permanent structures. 2 of them are right on the river, and 2 of them are sort of between the river and the manor house. There's a semicircle of outhouses with a big rock in the middle. There'd be like a line of food service vendors.
So what looks relatively hidden for like where we came in? Would that be like the stuff by the river, I guess? Like, does the dome cover the river?
The dome does extend into the river, yes.
By one of the small outhouses, hopefully on the opposite side of where they cluster the security dome, and I would say as far away from the security dome in a hidden place as possible.
So the security is just in front of the manor house, between the manor house and the pavilions. It's not quite in the middle of the expo site, but you know, it's a place where there was a place attached to it where they could have an information desk if they needed to. It's close to central because you need to be able to run places. So you're saying by the outhouses? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, not...
Like, that seems like a place meat people would go, right?
Yeah.
It's true. Speaking as a meat person, we would go there at least once or twice a day.
Yeah. So, like, I was thinking the other side of one of the pavilions near the river. Like, just far.
Okay.
So does that mean Hauler's just gone?
Yeah.
Like everybody
like when
appears,
you reappear, I'm
see,
not there.
I see Marcel and nobody else.
So it sounds like Marcel is still on the path toward... Is that right? You're just kind of standing there covered in this gleamy, shiny stuff? I'm asking, so. Not telling.
Oh, certain. I guess so. I'm trying to figure out what I can. I speak. I guess so. We came through the dome. The invisibility stuff wore off, and here we are. And I looked to Patches, and I say, as is Patches, this Sarala person, did she want something from in here? I can't remember.
No, her job was to get us in. Get over here. Get down.
Okay, I follow and I get down. What? What is it? What?
Where's Hauler?
I don't know. They look like they're going over there. I point.
So, Marcel, I would like, let's not get spotted by the people who have a huge negative on their perception right now because they're not expecting anyone to be behind them. But I fear you also have a huge negative on your not be spotted because you're covered in this lovely substance. So, why don't you tell me what your role is without your negative, and I will work from there.
What my role is without the
the penalty that I'm going to apply.
Oh, okay.
I'll take care of that for you. I got you.
I can roll. I'll roll. Oh, there we go. Oh, I
Right
rolled
in there, glittering in the sunlight like a vampire.
I was glaring like
have inspiration, Corey.
Oh, thank you.
Corey, could I borrow that inspiration real quick?
Oh, hell yes. Yes, have it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, because I did not roll well. Let's see what I do. Again, I rolled. I'll take the first number if I can.
Would you like an inspiration?
Okay. Yes.
Great.
Do you have one?
I do, and it's yours, actually. I don't have one. You have one, my friend.
Oh, thanks a bunch. We're really trying not to get... I thought the dwarves were on their way to the security thing. I didn't know where it goes up to. Let's see. I rolled a nat 20.
Okay. Then I
No
guess
one will
they are
ever
still
see
on
you.
the way to the security thing.
Okay.
All right. So, Marcel and Patches are hidden behind some shrubs, and Holler has headed toward the pavilions. Okay, so there are, as I mentioned, the 4 pavilions. 2 of them are on the river. You're going toward the river pavilions, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Pavilion C has a bunch of signs talking about making the perfect Warforged. And they say, put the Warforged in here, and they show pictures of the Warforged coming out looking like attractive members of other races dressed only in strategically placed gears. And this is... It looks like they're saying that if you want your Warforged mechanical servant to look like an attractive member of your race for whatever reason, this is a place where you can have the Warforged take on that form. That's Pavilion C.
I'm really glad that this place is near rivers, because these people be thirsty.
I mean...
What if I was a dainty little wood elf? I'm running for, the edge of the dome behind the pavilion. I'm not stopping to read signs. I'm like, oh!
Okay.
Just kind of gathering it all.
Great.
I'll process it later.
Yes.
You know?
So you run past Pavilion C with all of these signs and pictures, and you get to the edge of the dome, right sort of where the water is lapping up against the shore. Am I picturing that correctly?
Yeah,
and you're going to drive it in there. I'm
going to, stop, do a look-see over both shoulders, see if I can see any dwarves. And if I can't see any dwarves, then I'll do it.
All right. Well, let me roll a d20 for you.
Thank you.
No, you do not see any dwarves.
Good spot.
Indeed. And you drive this thing into the side?
Mm-hmm.
You're just kind of taking it and pushing it in?
No. It's a little ice pick, right?
Yep. Well,
or is it like a mattock? Is it?
It's an ice pick with sort of a padded handle because they needed to get the extra magic in there.
If I can get 2 hands on it, I'm just full body weight.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a strength check with advantage.
Okay. I mean, 12.
All right. So that's going to get partway in, and it does not immediately fall out. So mission accomplished. Well done.
Well done.
And then I would imagine Marcel and Patches follow up. What are you doing?
Well,
if you can see me from the road, then I'm not doing a good job.
Patches, well, no, because Marcel said oh, they're going that way, and Patches would have immediately been like, what the? Yeah.
Well,
I feel like if you have Marcel, who is an excellent tracker, after you, and you are covered in shiny bits of powder that keep dropping off of you.
Oh God!
I totally understand that Haller doesn't understand how they found you, but
it's just a glitter
I'm not
trail
making anybody
bisecting
roll
the
any
entire
dice.
expo. Oh, you made it. I'm finished. I guess we can leave now.
No, we have 3 items to go and get, and we have to keep our voices down this entire time.
So that would have been a great choice, but it's not the choice that you have demonstrated that you have made. So there are some people coming out of Pavilion B. Hey, does anybody have favorite enemy undead?
I certainly do. Coming out of Pavilion B.
Yes. So there are 2 types of undead that are coming out of Pavilion B. There are the kind that are pushing open the flap and stumbling forward, and there are the kind that don't need to bother and are just phasing straight through the wall of the pavilion. Actually, at this point, there's only one of those. We'll just have one of those. So if
I'm just going to look at my spells for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, if you have favorite enemy undead, and you want to know about these things, then you have advantage rolling on your intelligence to learn what they are.
Excellent. I Marseille would like to do that immediately as they make their presence known. And come on. He has rolled a 12 with advantage.
All right, so the 12 means you don't know what the incorporeal undead is, but you can make a separate roll for the shambling bunches of them.
Okay, with another advantage.
Yeah,
thing?
You with favorite enemy, you always have an advantage on making rolls to learn about undead.
Okay, marvelous.
Now, a 12 wasn't enough for the incorporeal undead, but we'll see about the others.
Sure. That would be a 13 with advantage.
13 is enough for this kind. This they have a lower DC. This is called Svassal. There's some kind of green. They're shambling. Their limbs are not all looking very solid. They do seem to be speaking to each other, so it's not just a sort of mindless zombie. In fact, one of them is saying, "Oh, maybe we could eat brains." And when next he kind of smacks him and says, "Don't be gross. Whoa, brains are yummy. Ew, no."
And I would like to say, pardon me, undead friends.
So the incorporeal guy who'd sort of been looking around, he just sort of swivels, and I mean, with the amount of shiny bits near you, he can see you, even though you're, fairly far away. And he starts moving quite quickly toward you.
Mm-hmm. And I
Can
say,
I please hide? Please hide. Please let me hide. Please let me hide.
Yes, you can take your glittery self and hide all you like.
In the river.
Okay, I just want to point out this is stagnant water and it looks gross, and I don't want you to be taken by surprise by that because you would clearly know about that.
Well, fine. I'm going to take whatever. I'll take disadvantage. I'm still hiding. I'm still going to try. I'm going to try. Yeah. It's going to make me feel better inside right here because my 2 companions, whose intelligences are
8.
8.
Fantastic. I'm going to hide.
Sure. Yes. Why don't you hide with disadvantage? That sounds lovely.
That does sound lovely. That sounds just fantastic.
You got what you wanted.
I did get what I wanted. Okay, that's going to be 9. I did not hide. I didn't hide.
Okay.
I think I'm hiding. I'm not hiding.
The light is just
I'm behind Holler.
Okay. All right. So this guy is flying rapidly toward you after you've called out to him and said hello, undead friends.
Excellent. Is he coming aggressive? Does it appear to be gliding aggressively?
You may roll insight if you want that information.
Could we all roll insight?
Sure, I will.
Anyone who
happily
wants to stick their head around.
Yes.
Do you have line of sight on this guy? Anyone with line of sight on this guy can roll insight to see if they think he's aggressive.
Okay.
You can just like peek between my legs.
Yes.
I rolled a 5 insight.
Huh.
For this.
19. Patches is usually very aware when somebody wants to kill him.
Okay. Holler, are you rolling?
No, Marcel said these were friends.
Oh, okay. So, I think, Patches, with a 19, you think this guy's predominant emotion right initially is curiosity. Marcel, I have no information for you.
Excellent. Well, then I will go with my original intention. And I would say, pardon me, monsieur, stop. My name is Marcel de Thrash. I'm a security officer at the expo. I would like to know what your business is here.
And he gets closer and he says, well, I live here now. You're not in uniform if you're security.
Oh, well, also, I'm very high up in the security rank. I could, if you want me to take the time to find my identification, I can show you.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. And I start going through pockets, sort of patting it down. And I say, you know what? I think I have misplaced it in the security office. If you will come with me to the security office, perhaps perhaps my superiors can find you can speak to them.
Let's do that.
What? Why?
All right.
He left his ID in the security office. That's why.
That's weird. Fine. Okay.
All right. And I start leading this person to the security office, and I say, so what do you do for a living when you are living?
Well, I came here for a demonstration in the basement of the manor house. Okay, so now, Marcel, when you were working security here, you worked here for several weeks. It was supposed to be a month-long expo. It was the expo hadn't ended. In all your time working here, you only got into the manor house itself a couple of times, and one time you were chasing someone and he ran into the basement, and the Cannith people nearby were like, no, nobody else gets into the basement. The dwarfs weren't allowed in the basement, and they were supposed to be the security people. You certainly never got into the basement. This gnome who ran in there, you were chasing him. He got in, but as far as you know, he never came out. A bunch of Warforged went in. A bunch of Warforged came out, but no gnome. You don't know what's going on in the basement of the manor house. So this guy is sort of fishing to see if you know, and you don't.
Mm-hmm. I see. And so I said, yes. How do you know about what is happening in the expo basement? That is classified information.
I was invited.
You were? My goodness. Are you on this VIP list?
Yes.
I see.
And I suspect you are not on any list at all.
Oh, really? Oh, you are mistaken, my incorporeal friend. Yeah, very much by that. You keep implying these sorts of things. They are going to be very angry at you at the security office. Let me tell you what.
Well, if it does turn out that you are security, I have a long list of complaints, but I won't bore you with them until we establish your credentials.
Fair enough.
All right.
What are Holler and Patches doing while this is going on?
Patches is desperately trying to think of a way out of this situation while we're going to the security office where all
Yeah.
of the dwarves are.
Like, I assume you guided the incorporeal spirit away, and I just kind of like rotated 90 degrees and started walking in that direction, and Patches just kind of like tried to like be very narrow beside me, like keep me between
Yes.
it and him.
May I make a
100%.
suggestion?
Yeah.
I suggest we
Please.
take a break.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So this is a great time. I'm going to refill my water, and I will see what you've come up with in a few minutes. Welcome back. So we have you heading toward the security building with this incorporeal undead. There are the shambling undead who were heading toward Pavilion B and see that you're now leaving Pavilion, or they left Pavilion B toward Pavilion C. They're now getting an argument. You know, were we following them, or are we going to see what they were doing? Some of them will start wandering toward you at some point. But right now, it's just you and Zev walking toward the building.
Zev.
Zev.
I like that. I might have a way. See,
Okay.
yeah, I have something I can do. I whisper to this. There's now my friend. I'm walking next to them. They're floating by. Walking next to. Listen, my friend. I understand. I'm not in uniform. I forgot my identification. I understand. You don't trust me. Why I wouldn't trust myself? I tell you what. I'll wait out here. You go into the security office. You ask them about me. My name again is Marcel de Tarashke. You ask them, so I'm not there pressuring you, standing over your shoulder. You go in right in there. You ask the head of security about Marcel de Tarashke, and you just clears this whole thing up. Too sweet.
Security left a couple of days ago. There has been no one around for a couple of days, so there's no one for me to ask, which you would know if you were really security.
Oh, I think, my friend, if you go into that booth, you will find someone.
So you're walking up toward the booth, and sure enough, you get there, and the door is closed, and there's a system in use, do not enter sign. And Zev looks at that and is a little bit taken aback. Did you put that up?
Of course I didn't. I'll say our security officers are inside making sure you and your fellow shambling folks are very safe.
So, Marcel, you know that there's a way for you to go in through another door and observe what's happening in that booth if you either want to go in by yourself, or all three of you, or all four of you. I'm not sure where you're going with this. I'm trying to give you the information you need to figure out for yourself where you're going with this.
I appreciate that. I also don't know where I'm going with this.
Like,
I think we're all very curious
foisting
to
the
find
undead off on the dwarves is a good move.
That's what I was trying to do. So I think what I will do is I will say, so you see, it's an operation, but again, I want to respect your privacy. We are all about service here, and we are here to protect you. This is what we're here for. So if you would like, you can go right in there. You can ask them all about my qualifications, my position, and perhaps they can help you. Perhaps they can even help you find your way to the basement.
Oh, I know how to get into the basement. I don't have particularly good memories of that. I don't think I'll be going back there. For clarification, Andy, were you ushering him through the main door, or were you gesturing him toward the observation room?
Oh, That is a good question. What would be more advantageous? My plan was to just throw the undead person into the security office and cause
Which
some
you
chaos.
could do either way.
True. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I've disappeared and I'm back. I think then what I will gesture for Zev, who I'm very rude. I did not ask. I say I'm so sorry. I did not. I gave you your name, but you have me in a disadvantage. What is your name?
I am Zev.
Zev. It is a pleasure to meet you.
That is the current. This part of me, at least. Jacob, was your hand up? Sorry.
While this is happening, I would just
Yes.
like to very inobtrusively in the background be casting prestidigitation a lot to get all of this glitter off of us.
Okay. In your opinion, is one use of prestidigitation sufficient to get rid of magical glitter?
I can clean a cubic foot of surface, and prestidigitation does a couple of very harmless, dumb effects for an hour. And I can
Okay.
have many of those effects going at once.
Okay.
I think so, but
Yes.
there might be a bad reaction.
I think that it's going to work, but it's going to be slow. I also think that the magic in the Mournlands, I don't remember if I told you this, but it's kind of chaotic and it's kind of wild, and it mostly works the way you want it to. So I think what you should do is roll a d20 and tell me the number on it. Oh, and I see Corey's hand. Corey, would you like
Sorry,
to...
yeah, is he gonna have to roll on a wild magic table, or am I gonna get a different prestidigitation effect? Like, can I get a flavor?
I mean, it will probably work exactly as intended. It will almost certainly do exactly what he wants it to do.
I'll just roll the dice.
That sounds good.
How do we like a 3?
A 3 works exactly the way you intend it to. And so your first magical effect is you're cleaning 1 cubic foot of surface. Is that what you said?
Yes, that is what I said.
It works perfectly. I'm going to go back to Andy and see how things are going with him.
I see. And I think what I am going to do is I think I would like to send this entity through the front door and then go around the back as you suggested to see what happens.
Okay. All right. So from the observation room, you see that the dwarfs are huddled around the X-17. Now, last week you mentioned that you had actually used the X-17 and it was a great system. So what they're doing is they are using it to look at some sort of timestamp of an event that took place before everything shut down, back before the day of mourning when the expo was in full swing. And these dwarfs they're trying to figure out what's going on with the security. And they're chattering a bit, could this have something to do with where the dome came from? How did we get this? This dome is super secure and we really need to be able to do this in other places. We can do great work with this. Okay, so look at this meeting, and they pull something up, and you see that there's a cardinal from the Church of the Silver Flame, and she's having a conversation with someone who's blurry, and there's another woman off in the background just kind of looking subservient, and the conversation is going on. The audio is running, but they're not really paying attention to it. They're like, why is this person blurry? What is going on with the security system? Is this a malfunction? Did we have a malfunction in the security system? And that maybe is why we have this weird dome that has sprung up everywhere. I also want to know where Holler and Patches are.
I've been following Marcel
Okay.
since he started his conversation, and I feel like I've just stuck close to him.
Okay.
Same, but
All right.
less conspicuous.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Well, you're
clean.
cleaning this glitter off you, so it's all falling to the floor. So I
I
don't
would
know where
like
else it
to
would go.
immediately stop that. It's magic. It hopefully disappears.
So
I
this
don't
is a
think
disintegration
prestidigita-
effect?
Yes.
I see.
If it falls to the floor, I immediately stop because that can be tracked. That's how we found Haller.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, because she was transporting it in a jar. I assume it's a physical dust.
It's a physical magical dust. So I think that prestidigitation can get rid of like mundane dust. I don't know if it can get rid of magical, like a magic item.
That's fair. Completely fair. If it falls to the ground, I immediately stop. I take off my scarf and scoop it the hell up and stuff it into my pack so that nobody sees it.
All right, and your prestidigitation, which is working perfectly, can help you with that. You've got it for an hour. You don't have to make any more rolls for an hour.
Marvelous.
So it's in your scarf. This
Excellent.
magical dust.
Yes, and the scarf is tied very tightly and shoved into the bottom of my very secure watertight pack.
Okay. I also think you can use prestidigitation. Like you're all shedding this magical glitter everywhere you go. And you can be on that. You can be scooping it up behind you as you're, you've got your magic going. You can be in control of that.
Want to be clean and not glittery anymore. Stealth is how I live.
Okay. So they're looking at this blurry figure talking to the cardinal. They're ignoring the conversation going on. They're trying to figure out if this is a defect in the security system. And Zev walks through the door. And one of them's like, Zev, you're back? Yeah, one of the security guys told me to come in here. Wait, which security guy? Marcel or Marcia. Anyway, it was de Thrashk. I know that. Wait, he was working here like 4 years ago. Is he one of the Soul Ripped? Did you take him into the basement? Wait, are you making more Warforged? What are you doing? And Zev's like, he told me to come in here and make sure he was real security, but I did. So wait, so he's here. He's one of. All right, we need to shut this down and report this. Thank you, Zev. And Zev's like, you're welcome. He sort of backs out a wall.
The important part of that is that they confirmed that Marcel works here.
It's true. Just like an old employee showing up 4 years later. Oh, God. I didn't know they know each other.
Dead. Yeah, of course they did.
Question, does the observation room we're in have like an entrance to the main security area? Or are they closed off and separate?
I was kind of picturing it as a booth, but it's pretty easy to get from one place to the other. The dwarfs leave. Zev leaves. I don't care whether sure, there can be a way from one to the other. Otherwise, you just walk outside, walk in.
Yeah.
Whatever you like.
Just like, I've got like some clear glass and I've got my peepers on the X17.
Which is taking up most of this room.
Please assume that any conversation that's happening from these machines, anything that has to do with the history, especially before the day of mourning, Patches is writing this shit down.
All right, so if you want, you can make a listen to the machine while other people are talking roll. Sure.
Would that be...
I'm guessing some sort of perception, or I don't know what else you have.
I have at least a +1 in every skill.
Great. Why don't you roll a die and give you a +1?
Great.
Or if you have a listen check.
How about perception?
Or a perception check?
That's better.
Sure.
Yes. Hey, dice. It would be great if you stopped rolling in 3s. How about a 6 total?
A 6 total. Was that... sorry, did you say you used your hero point?
I did. You're correct.
Okay.
I did do that. And then I add another d6, correct?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. 12 after the hero point.
Okay. So, the Cardinal is talking to the Blur. And she's saying, well, how much would you charge to assassinate a Cardinal? And the Blur's like, don't worry. You're safe. The fees are high. It would probably take a big organization to be able to afford us. And she says, well, how high? And that's when the dwarfs turned things off and ran out.
How did they turn them off?
They used the X17 control. They were at the device that was bringing up images from the
Oh, I'm just thinking if we can break into this room, we do whatever they did in reverse, and then we can see what's on this machine.
That would take a certain amount of training, like a week of training before the expo.
All right.
You know. So
Marcel's done it.
Yeah, Marcel knows how to use this thing.
Oh, good. Yes, the old X17. I forgot how big it was. This, Patches, what she wanted me to do with it, and he starts flipping things and sort of polishing things, and
I want to see the day of mourning.
I think we can call it up for you. Sure. He cracks his knuckles and punches that up in the computer.
It does not have anything on the day of mourning. Whatever happened on the day of mourning just
isn't there.
Isn't there, and it hasn't recorded properly since. All you can do is look at archives.
I thought so.
But you could look for the carryable things.
Yeah, that was going to be the next thing. Is can we search for the 3 things that we're supposed to look for, mark where they are, and then go and get them?
Yes, one of them is room-sized and is in the security hut.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the X17.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can start grabbing handfuls of this, moving it towards the exit.
Just like I picture them like big hands just lifting bits out like they're taking chunks of cake. Just
The X17 is cake.
Everything is cake.
Gâteau, I think.
Oh gosh, is there? Does anything look practically liftable? Is there a server? Is there?
So,
we're obviously going to need to come back for
I didn't hear what Jacob just said.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I said we were going to have to come back for this, and then the idea of all are just going like
handfuls of cake. So the X17 is perhaps not what you are removing from the expo site today.
Okay, that's all right.
Yes,
unless Holler changes their mind.
Yes. Yes. So it was the biospinner, the
Taps.
The tap. Yep.
Your multi-tap.
Yep. The multi-tap, and then what was the third thing?
The X17.
The X17.
The X17. Okay, cool. Let's just look for those other 2 things, because we're gonna have to come back for this.
By the way, is multi-tap spelled MALTY tap?
Please.
I kind of hope so now.
Yes.
Excellent.
It always will be in my heart now.
Yes,
the Maltese tap.
I'm not sure that's the kind of clever that House Cannith usually is, though.
Fair.
In any case, you can see that it was in Pavilion D, and Pavilion D had sort of rotating displays of various things. One of the reasons it was on the river is there might be things where you want to be able to just fire this over the water or whatever. I don't know what House Cannith was doing. If you have ideas about what House Cannith was doing on the river.
House Cannith doesn't know what House Cannith is doing most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the multi-tap prototype was taken into the manor house. There are no ways of seeing what was happening in the manor house. And the biospinner was in the youth center, which is Pavilion B.
Okay. Then if that's the thing that we have to get this game, I suggest we hunt that one first.
So the biospinner you actually don't have to get at all. It's an excuse. You were asked to retrieve it. If you retrieve it, then Irulan Karnach will give you a bunch of salvage points, but it's actually nothing to do with your actual patron.
Let's do it first.
Your patron wants the multi-tap and the X17.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but don't listen to Dale. Salvage means more base.
Exactly.
That's true. I'm also looking forward to figuring out what the biospinner is. It's in the youth center. Oh, what if it's like the Gravitron from the fair? When it was just spinning, it's a ride spinning people. It's another room-sized machine that we have to somehow get out of here.
But it just liquidates the children, and then it pushes the mass out through a colander, strains it.
I hope it's not some sort of like, this is the new like way to potty train your children. The biospinner.
The mass is pulled down towards the lower extremities of the child.
So, on the one hand, I love saying yes.
Don't. It's cool.
All right.
So, Marcel, you're in charge of the thing. What do you want to get first?
Well, then I will suggest, and I point out the information on what I imagine is some sort of arcane display. I say, well, you see the biospinners in the youth center, which is in Pavilion B. Was that right?
Yes, that was right.
Okay, so that's in Pavilion B. The multi-tap is now in the manor house, and there seems like there's some screw-up things going in the manor house basement, and I'm not sure if I want to go there today. But if you would like, to my compatriots, I put forward that we go to the youth center first and get the biospinner, and then maybe check out the manor house. What say you?
I love children.
I would also like to point out that Pavilion B is where all the undead are.
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
I don't know if you remembered that. I'm not trying to hide that from you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How
That
do
is
you
well.
Feel about undead, Marcel?
I'm very comfortable with them. I've
As
spent
your
a lot.
favorite enemy.
It's my favorite enemy.
Yeah.
There are good undead, and there's the undead that really want your bodily organs. Those ones I'm not big fans of. I've gotten very good at killing those, though. And he taps his dual short swords. It's very good for the dismembering. But I'm more concerned about having the awkward conversation with them. I mean, maybe. Ooh! Could I look through the drawers in the security office to see if there's any record of my employment as a security officer? Can I make some sort of investigation roll?
Sure.
I think we
a security badge with a name sharpied out.
All right. Let's see. What do I have for investigation? I think I've got a +1 for that because my house benefits, I think, and that's a 6, sadly. So
lovely. Well, what happens with a 6, Andy? I don't feel like you need any Dale input from that.
No, what happens to the 6 is I've gone into a closet and I've pulled out a very large and deep crate full of name tags. I'm just going, no, not that one, not that one, not that one. Oh, this could take all day. Ah, shoot.
Could
Zev is going to be very upset with me.
Could we all assist and like dig through this box together?
Sure. We want.
Yeah, question for Andy. Are they magnetic or are they like, do they have little claws or they have a little lanyard?
They have that thing where, it's magnetic. So it's got your name and number on one side with one magnet. And then there's a corresponding clip of the other that goes on the other side of your shirt. So you've got.
I'm going to assist by sticking the discarded ones to myself.
So, I think you find your actual name tag that you used to use. You probably had a couple, but you remember how you had a time limit? I don't know if you remember that you had a time limit.
Hour.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
How much longer do we have left?
How good are you at telling how long is exactly an hour?
A ranger probably would have had a good idea of it.
Yeah.
Or
it's not
Warforged
quite an
might
hour.
have an internal clock.
Well, it's not quite an hour.
Okay.
But you're pushing things a little bit.
Okay.
So go to the Children's Pavilion at a run.
Sure.
Okay.
And I clip mine on just as we're going out.
Okay. So you're heading at a run to Pavilion B. This means for sure everybody has seen the signs on Pavilion C about making the Warforged have its perfect shape.
Is this the multi-tab? I thought we were going for the Biospinner, which is in the Children's Pavilion. I just want to be clear. I may have misheard.
Yes, which is in Pavilion B, the youth center. I believe, anyway.
Did I misspeak?
I didn't hear that, but I heard you mentioning the signs on Pavilion C. Nothing to do with what we were going to
Right. So
grab.
you're running to B.
Sorry.
Yep. But I want to make sure that you have a sense for what's going on around you. So as you're running to B, you can all see the stuff on C, which is the stuff about giving the perfect form. I think maybe you can also see the stuff on Pavilion A, which is the Warforged Enhancement Pavilion. There are some demo modules there. But you're running into Pavilion B, which is the youth center. So you kind of sprint in, you sort of raise the flap on the canvas, and you run in. And Zev isn't there, but there are a couple more of those incorporeal undead. And there are a bunch of the Svassal, the sort of lurchy undead in there. And they're like, hey, occupied. And one of the incorporeals kind of gets a little bit more vertical and says, oh, we have guests. Who are you? And while this is happening, the Svassals are kind of standing up and trying to encircle you, which isn't going to work because you're like standing in the entry to a tent with the flap open, but they're kind of, I guess they can do a semicircle.
You know what's great? A chase scene.
Yes, have some inspiration. I love a chase scene.
What in here looks like a biospinner?
Well,
just take a quick glance around, and if something looks very overly complicated and pretentious, like House Cannith do, probably grab that and run?
Okay, so I would think that there are several, like let's say 3 overly complicated and pretentious things. What
Great.
sort of skill can you roll to find the right one, or do you not care and you just want to grab the closest one?
Well, there's 3 magical-looking and overly complicated things. There
Yes.
are 3 of us. We'll just grab them all and
All right.
book it. How does that sound, Corey and Andy?
Sounds good to me.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So just in this hive mind between the 3 of us, we probably all like look at each other, look at those 3 things, and then split and grab everything. And if you'll forgive me, because you're not carrying a donkey, we haul ass.
So, Patches and Holler, it looks like there's one way into this pavilion and one way out.
Okay.
Marcel, you know how to trigger the emergency exit out the back in case of fire.
Mhm.
I am not going to allow you to communicate that via hive mind unless you ask me to, in which case I will say, yes, you have a hive mind that can do that, and we will discuss how you are making that communication.
Nope.
Yeah, no,
Nope.
I'd love for like the spirit to be like, oh, we have guests, and like the shamblers to be like, "Ugh," and then Patches be like, grab and go.
Okay, but you're
She said.
these things are on the other side of these undead. Like, you're going to have to run through you have opened the flap of this tent and looked in, and you have sort of this wall of like 8 shamblers trying to come for you. One of them's like, now can we eat brains? Like, no, gross. What about just a little bit of brain? No, stop talking about eating brains. And one of the others is like, I've never tried brains, but I've heard good things. And, the woman next to him is like, ew, stop that.
Well, so in which case, these things are on the other side of this wall of undead that's coming towards us. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, they were hanging out. They had just come in recently. There's literally a back wall where these things are displayed, and Marcel, how to trigger an emergency exit out that back wall.
All right. Well, then I will say I'd like to make an athletics roll to see if I can do this. But what I would like to do is say something like, organ dishes are overrated, and then charge, barrel straight through, shoulder my way through these guys to grab one of these 3 items and to push the button that's under the counter or whatever it is to open up the back entrance.
All right. If you can give me a 20 on that athletics, you can do all of that in 1 turn.
Right. Okay.
And please take some bardic inspiration.
Oh, bardic inspiration.
Yes, that means you get a 1d6.
Oh, okay. Well, I might have a good shot at that because I've got, for athletics, I've got a +4. And then with a d6, are we feeling lucky? What do we think?
Yeah, Patches, like when he sees you about to move, like when you start to move, he just slaps your ass.
Okay. Here we go. That's an 18 +4 is 22.
Yes.
All right. So regardless, we're going to roll initiative now. But
okay,
you've like run in there. You have probably done some sort of somersault or some sort of superhero move. You've grabbed a thing. You've slapped this. The alarm starts blaring. The fire doors pop open, which tear the back off of the display, and the undead are like, wait, that was there all along. And you have a thing. It looks pretentious.
Excellent.
I've
got that under my arm like a football.
Sure. Marcel, how's your initiative?
My initiative is I forget. I got to look at how to roll initiative.
Plus your dex.
That's dex. And roll a d20 plus dex. Okay, so that's a +1, and I will roll now. That is a 14 + 1, 15.
Nice.
Thank you.
9.
9 for Patches?
Yep. I'm not going to use my inspiration on this. I feel like I'm going to need it later.
Holler
And-
is a 5.
Holler is a 5.
Would you like that inspiration?
No.
Okay. I would like to. I would like to perform one small action before combat starts, if that's acceptable.
Depends what it is. No, it doesn't. I'll say yes.
Okay. Well, it's prestidigitation. I would like to make myself smell like brains.
Are you
If you can't smell, how do you know what brains smell like?
Warforged can smell. Warforged still have all of the senses. Warforged can, in fact, eat and drink. Nobody knows where it goes, but they can.
The mystery is solved as soon as someone looks at their chair.
Well, that was a lovely meal. Thank you very much.
It's worse with soup.
Yeah.
Dale is rolling a lot of initiatives.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
that.
Dale, what number of undead are in this tent with us?
So there are 2 of the incorporeal that he called himself a soul rift. Zev isn't here, and there are 8 of the lurching Svassal undead.
Yeah.
Yep. But Marcel is up first.
Okay.
So you are at the back of the tent, holding this thing like a football.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing?
Ooh.
Like I know you're running, but where are you running toward?
Right, I'm running toward the so this alarm that I've pushed has opened a door.
It's opened several doors around the back, and it's set off an actual auditory alarm as well. The fire alarm.
Okay, all right. Then I guess. And am I near one of those doors? Oh, sorry.
Absolutely, yes.
I am. Jacob, you have something to say?
Yes, I thought when he said running to, I think the exit is supposed to be where the pickaxe got put in.
Oh,
It's
I see.
behind a different pavilion. Or you mean our exit from the dome?
Yeah.
I thought we went out the same way we came in.
Yes, right now, for like an hour after you entered, it should be permeable.
Oh, you should be able to get out. Okay, got it. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. Thank you.
Okay. I want to try to assist you guys getting out of here because I got a good escape, but you still have to get 2 things and get over here.
So I smell like brains.
Yeah.
And I have an area of effect spell.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to do it, I need people close to me to do it because it can do damage and knock them back. So I get 1 shot to get everybody away from me. So go. Get out.
Are you heading toward the manor to try to get this multi-tap?
I have a feeling once we run out of here, we're going to have a lot of undead on our tail.
Yeah, it's a chase scene.
Yeah. So
I guess we were close to our hour, so it was like we could do one thing.
Right, yeah, that's what it kind of felt like.
It's your call. Are you trying for the extra thing or not?
As players, you're the what do you guys want to do?
As players, I'm kind of happy getting our salvage points and running and leaving the multi-tap for another session. Yeah.
Yes. I'm fine with that. Yep. I'm fine with that.
Because we got to come back for the X17 anyway, and I don't know how we're gonna get it out. I guess we could talk to China. We can send a missive to China saying, "Hi, it's room size. We need a bigger budget."
Yeah, we found out where it is. You're coming in anyway. Yes. Also, what we're doing right now is we're establishing ourselves, and we're just deepening our cover. See.
There we go. And we've also got we also got a ton of valuable information. So I think we're good. I'm happy just to take this crap and get out of here.
Yep, 100%, because we only have to give one thing up, and then the other two things, whatever the hell they do, we can put them in the base.
Right.
Yep.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. We're very smart.
Okay. So, but it's still my turn for initiative. I don't really have any. I don't really have any support spells. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop. I'm going to take my football and spike it very gently on the ground, and then take my longbow, which I believe I have with me, and 20 arrows, and then fire a bolt at the zombie that looked like the most brain hungry.
Sure.
Okay. So that is a. What is that to hit? That is a.
So you're going to roll your d20, and you're proficient with the longbow, so you're going to add your proficiency bonus, and you're also going to add your dexterity modifier.
Perfect. Okay. Good. So that is a 14 plus 3 to hit, and that's a 17.
Okay, so 17 is a hit. Do you remember how much damage you do with your longbow?
Yes, it's 1d8 plus 1.
Lovely.
So let's look at that. That is a 6 plus 1 is a 7.
Nice.
7 damage to one of the vassals. I am designating it as Vassal 1.
Does Vassal 1 go down?
No.
We need to just go.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks that way.
Okay. So that's what you did. Next, it's time for the two incorporeal undead. We're like, what are you doing? So
Crime?
one of them moves up to Marcel and stretches the tip of her finger toward you, and the tip of the finger starts to glow, and it's incorporeal, and she's going to try to insert it into your torso.
Okay.
So, what's your armor class?
My armor class is 15, I believe.
Well, I don't hit a 15. So
Marcel backs away, goes, ah! So sort of like, it goes concave, goes, no, what? No!
all right. I think the other, the most threatening looking person is Holler. So Holler, you're
Hello.
very, very shiny and glittery and whatnot. I am going to try to insert a fingertip into your torso. These are really fun, scary attacks, and I rolled a 4 and a 3. So I believe I don't get to use my very fun attacks this round, but we'll see about next round. Patches, you said you were going to do some things.
I did, but point of order.
Yes.
Keep in mind, Andy, you used the training room, so on your previous attack roll, you should get an additional d6 or an additional 2 damage. Sorry, your proficiency bonus. You get that on one attack because we used the training room before we left.
Thank you. I'd forgotten that. Let
Yep.
me.
So that's another 2 damage. So maybe it did.
It not dead.
We need to go. We need to go right now. We need to super go right now.
These are very hardy undead. Goodness. Okay.
Yes, they are.
Hopefully, yeah.
Super easy to hit, but very hearty.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to use an acrobatics check to grab whichever of the items is farther from me, because I think I'm more maneuverable than Holler is. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Tell me about this athletics check.
Great.
Because yes.
Yes. Good. 19.
19. All right. So you acrobatics through and you have grabbed a thing.
I have grabbed a thing. Good.
Yes.
Bonus action, Bardic Inspiration to Holler, and I leave.
Okay, so you are using your regular action to move, then not to do the spell you were talking about. I'm just trying to clarify.
Yes, the spell, I will use the spell if anything chases me because I smell like brains. So if I can move faster than these things, or if I am somehow captured and surrounded, then I can use Thunderclap to get everybody away from me and to possibly knock some people down or kill them. Probably not. They're very hardy.
They are indeed rather hearty. Holler.
So how big are the expo items, the ones that are on display?
Well, I think it's been declared that they're football-sized.
All right.
Oh.
Andy said that. So I said yes.
Yeah. I know that one of them is football-sized, but I wasn't quite certain.
Oh.
Yes?
Damn. Well, I instead of my second move action, I would wanted to have grabbed the one that was farther away and tossed it to you so that I can grab the second one.
Sure. I will let you do.
Does that sound okay, Corey?
I mean, that works for me.
Okay. Because at this point, Patches is like, I think I'm the fastest one. I might not be. Marcel might be. Marcel probably is. Yes. So I would like to throw that to you, and then I will grab the second one and get out. So you can just immediately book it.
So this is pretentious looking, not aerodynamic looking. So how's your athletics roll?
His or mine?
I actually am going to want one from each of you.
19.
All right.
24.
Yes. Yeah. Great. So, you have thrown this thingy to Holler. Holler, it's your turn. You're holding a thingy. You don't know what it is.
I want to put it in my dimensional space.
Okay. Now, this is from your background, Mornland's Courier, correct?
Yes.
What kind of action is it to open your extra-dimensional space?
It doesn't say.
Okay, so it's probably...
But I have an action surge available if it takes a full standard action.
I mean, I feel like accessing an extra-dimensional space feels action-y to me. So why don't we say it's an action? So you pull this thing open, and I'm just looking at what's in the extra-dimensional space right now. Well, one thing that happens is a very angry wasp flies out.
Oh no!
That could have had better comedic timing.
It's good though. I liked it.
All right, and so you have used an action to open up this space in sort of the middle of nothing, and then you can use your interaction to slam this thing in there, and then you can run with your move. Does that sound like your plan?
My plan is also to shout at the undead. Like, I was going to go for an intimidate on them, but it was just like, security emergency! Everyone evacuate the area!
Oh, yeah. Do you have Fool the Weak-Minded as a skill or anything like that?
No.
All right. How about Charisma?
Charisma's great. 13.
Yeah, why don't you roll a Charisma check?
Charisma check. All right. 11.
11. All right. So that's something. And then you're running?
Running out the front door where I was.
Okay. Great.
Everyone follow me!
So, the Svassal, there are 8 of them. I think with an 11, you fool about half of them. The security emergency, follow me.
Now there's a wasp in the tent. Yeah.
So 4 of them just run after you like you asked them to do.
Yes.
They can run?
No, okay.
For
Yeah, I realize
Yeah,
that
yeah.
D&D uses run in a specific sense. They cannot do that. They shamble after you.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure that they weren't like, I'm going to get you. Ah! Yeah, okay, cool.
Like the T-1000 or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I think 3 of the others are going to come for the guy who smells like brain.
That's me.
All right. Let's see if my dice can roll higher than a 4.
Excellent. Roll higher than a 4.
Well, because I've attacked twice this combat, and I rolled a 4, and then I rolled a 3, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm due for some high numbers. So attack number 1 from his vassal. So see there, I rolled a 19. What's your armor class?
14.
14. Great. So it comes and it smacks you for 3 points of damage. And it kind of looks around surreptitiously and starts to like make gnawing motions toward your head. And one's like, no, stop that. Just and another one attacks you. And I rolled an 18. This one does 5 damage. And another one attacks you. Oh, this one, I hit armor class 15. Did you say that hits?
Yeah.
Okay. And this one also does 5 damage.
Excellent. Well, this is the one that I'm going to take that proficiency bonus off of.
Okay.
My proficiency bonus is 2, so that's 2 less damage.
Uh-huh.
Yep, so that's 3 damage. Cool. Not in a great spot right now. Good.
And another one, the final one, attacks Marcel. Marcel, does an 18 hit you?
It does.
Okay. In that case, please have 6 points of damage.
Sounds good.
It does. All right. Those were the Stassels, which brings us to the end of the round and back to Marcel. What you doing?
Well, I
think maybe you can take these guys.
I could, but I don't know if I could take the soul ripped. That's the thing, because I don't know much about them. Because I rolled poorly on that. I know I could take these zombie guys. I got 2 swords and no shits. I could totally take them out. But I'm also now concerned about patches and getting out of here in time before that dome closes. So I
heal me.
Can I? How far away are we? Am I on the other side of the tent?
You guys are both back by that emergency wall. So
we're both over there.
Yeah, you could sort of circle around to him and heal him.
Okay, but that wouldn't be enough to get us both out of here in the same round. I could just go over there and heal him up.
I'm okay. Jacob, the player, is okay if you just go.
Okay. I bet if we're both by the doors, if we're both in the back, I bet Patches could. I bet Patches could probably run out of there.
I can heal me too.
Okay, good.
Yep.
In which case, I'm going to reach down, pick up my football again, and as a free action say, Patches, we must go. Can you leave?
Yes, go.
All right, and I tear out of there, running in the direction of the ice pick, and I hope Holler is too.
Holler is going toward the place where you entered, not toward the ice pick.
Oh, I thought we had to go to the. I'm confused. And Andrew Countin is confused. Where would the exit be? Where we entered, or where the ice pick is?
Where we entered, because that's the thing that's going to close in an hour.
Oh, I see. Okay, well then, yes. I then towards. Can I retcon and say I just want to go to the exit?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So Marcel gets out of there. So
let's hope I'm not the one with the biospinner.
Yeah.
not the biggest danger at the moment.
Yeah. That's where my priorities are at.
The two Soul Ripped chase after Marcel. And they're flying. And as they're approaching, they say, drop the biospinner and we'll let you leave.
Oh. Do they look like they could outpace me?
Yes.
Do they look? They do.
Well, I mean, but I don't know if they could outpace you, but they're keeping up with you. They're as fast as you, at least as fast.
Right.
Andy, you want to do something stupid?
Yeah.
Cool. Drop it, and I'll get it on the way out.
Okay. It sounds very good. So I look over my shoulder to see these two apparitions coming at me, and I see Patches maybe holding onto the edge of the tent, getting some the Warforged equivalent of breath back, and I go, oh, I'm so sorry. This drill has gone all wrong. And I sort of adjust my security name tag. It's just, mea culpa. I am so sorry. This has gone to shit. I'll talk to my supervisor next time. We will do this a lot better. My apologies to that undead I hit with the arrow, by the way. It meant to graze him. But you're right. I will tell you what. I definitely put it down on the ground. He says, "I'm just going to go back to the security pavilion," and I'm definitely not walking towards the security pavilion. I'm backing up towards the exit again. But we will get this all sorted out. I promise. Next Tuesday, mark it in your calendar. Next Tuesday, and do it right this time. Oh, Marcel.
So they're reaching out to you. Do you give it to them?
No, I put it on the ground. I put that crap on the ground, and because they told me to drop it, so I did. I put it.
Okay.
Put it right.
So all right. So you have dropped that. They have moved. One of them picks it up.
Okay.
And they are going to leave you alone. So you are going to be fine.
Yeah.
So what's up now? Oh, it's Patches. Hey, Jacob, what are we doing?
All right. So how badly are attacks of opportunity going to hose me here if I try to run?
If these things are swift and agile, they're going to get reactions on you as you leave. If their lurchiness extends to them not getting proper reactions, then they won't get any at all, or they might have disadvantage on reactions. I feel like I'm not answering your question properly. Why don't you give me a dice roll on how well you know these undead, and then I'll give you some actual information that might be helpful.
What would that be? What would you like me to roll?
Probably some sort of religion or anything you have. I don't remember.
History?
No, this is not a history.
I can. I can do religion.
Sure. You don't get your cool barding jack of all trades until level 2, right?
No, I've got a jack of all trades now, but it doesn't give me that. It's half of my proficiency bonus to everything. Okay. Yeah. So I rolled a 4.
Okay, well that kind of makes it moot.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Okay. Well, they're all close to me. And if I don't know if they get attacks of opportunity or not, they're undead. Jacob knows, but Patches doesn't. Anyway, I'm going to use Thunderclap and get him the hell away from me.
Okay.
Or Thunderwave, sorry. Thunderwave. Thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from me must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed. In addition, unsecured objects that are completely within the area of effect are automatically pushed 10 feet away from you by the spell's effects, and the spell emits a thunderous boom audible out to 300 feet, which is a big bell. And the alarms are already going off. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's the Mornlands. It's probably a Colossus farting. They don't know.
All right, so I think this is going to work. I think that you're going to push enough of these guys away that you're going to get out of there, and you're going to see the dwarfs running. I'm sorry. They were working on something that you patches recognize. It's a boxcar. It's secured right by the station, and it looks like they're preparing it to receive some sort of room-sized object.
All right, we'll have to report that.
I don't know if you, Jacob, remember this, but last week you found out that they've made arrangements that 6 months from now they're going to have a temporary rail line.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yes. So they are planning on getting this out of here on the rail line with the boxcar.
The X-17 for the dome.
Yeah. The cake pooter. So what I would like to do on the way out, as I clock that information, is I'm running by and I will roll and spend whatever the hell I need to like, as Warforged is running, ghosts are going this way, grab the bio spinner and keep booking.
Okay.
Marcel, go long.
I will. I have high athletics. I could catch this, I think.
So, I think taking an object away from somebody counts as an attack action.
Excellent.
So, attack the incorporeal undead, please.
I will. But I will use Bardic Inspiration in order to do this, and I will use my Inspiration as well.
Lovely.
Marvelous. Okay. Let's do 2d20. All right, so is this just an unarmed attack?
I think so.
Yeah, I would say, unarmed strike. Yeah, that'll do her. Yep, that's an 11. Okay, that's an 18 plus. Just do it. Yep, 27.
All right. That is absolutely going to grab this thing.
Awesome.
The Soul Ripped are going to take reactions on you.
Cool. Good. So, remember that 750 gold I was complaining about needing to spend? I'm not complaining about that anymore. It's fine. Oh.
Dale is opening up 12 extra damage windows just in front of him, like Minority Report. It's amazing. It's an incredible thing that's happening.
So it's quite that, but I certainly can't see you right now.
Wow.
So one of them hits you on a 9, or hits armor class 9, and the other one hits armor class 21. So I'm guessing one of those hits. How does that sound to you?
Yeah.
I that sounds correct and
terrible. I think it
terrible.
hits an AC 14.
Yeah.
All right. So that means that her fingertips are inside your wooden bits.
Always good. Always good. Always
Yeah.
good. Constitution damage?
Well, you're going to be making a Constitution save. You're taking some damage regardless. Let me roll that right away. That's 6 points of damage.
I'm down.
Okay. I still want a Constitution save, please.
Absolutely. I'm gonna imagine I don't make that.
You need a 13.
Yeah. Can that 13 be a 4? No? Okay.
Ooh, would you like me to say yes to that?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. What's the devil's bargain here? Because I really like this character.
Okay,
It's
so
not dead yet.
I'm trying to prevent that.
Okay, you're down, and
Yes.
the failing the Constitution save doesn't auto kill you. It just means that your maximum hit points are reduced by 6 points. So that makes no practical difference to you right now. This is
Understood.
the kind of thing that will get better in time.
Of
So
course, yes.
this doesn't feel like a time to make a devil's bargain, which feels very weird to say, because when is it not a time to make a devil's bargain? So Patches has fallen down and is currently unconscious.
Holding 2 very pretentious magical items.
Yes. Hey, Holler, what you doing?
Like, I ran out of the front of the tent, and I didn't know what the plan was. We never actually discussed what we were doing.
It's
I know
true.
there's doors open in the back of the tent, so I'm like, I've stopped outside,
You
and I'm
have
like, I guess
4
I'll meet up with
undead
them
chasing
around
you.
the side.
You have 4 undead chasing you. They can't catch
Yeah.
up to you, but
But I
you know-
want to meet up with my friends, right?
right. So
Because they should have the 3 total artifacts or whatever that we were grabbing from the tent, and I have 1, and Patches has 1, and Marcel has 1. So I guess I'm gonna run around the back of the tent to find them. And
you see everything going on, and you're training these 4 undead.
yeah,
All right.
I guess
so
I have to go get Patches.
you have your hands free. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So when you fall down, you drop what you're holding. So Patches has dropped these 2 items.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you can run over there and grab Patches.
Yes. I want to grab Patches and take him to Marcel if I can see Marcel.
I'm sure you can see Marcel.
Yeah.
Please throw something.
So these 2 incorporeal guys only care about the items. If you let them keep the 2 items on the ground, you can get away with Patch's unconscious form and the thing in your extra dimensional space.
That's for someone else to worry about. I'm just generally concerned in everyone like staying alive.
Okay, so I think you grab Patches, you and Marcel book it out the soft spot in the dome.
Yeah.
And you heal up Patches.
Sounds
I think
good.
this went well.
As long as like the undead don't follow us up the dome or whatever. Even if they do, it's fine. I don't care.
The
slow.
undead are going to do what the Soul Ripped tell them to do. The Soul Ripped are happy to have retrieved these 2 items and seen you guys leave with apparently no items.
Yeah.
And
Actually, I want to run to where we dusted ourselves with Sorala. That's
Okay.
basically like the station
Yes.
zone, I guess.
Sure, outside. And you heal up Patches, and you make it back to Salvation, or to your inn. Now, Irland Karnak will pay you for the thing you got out if you want the salvage points. She doesn't know what it is. You don't know what it is. She will give you the agreed upon price for it because, hey, it's still something from the Cannith Expo. I see Jacob's finger.
I have Identify.
Ooh.
Okay.
I would like to know what it is before we give it away.
Yeah, you have plenty of time. You have plenty of healing.
Yep.
So this is some kind of disease sucker, where because the youth tent wasn't a tent for youths, it was a tent to try to give youth. So these are prototypes, and they don't completely work. Now, when you were casting Identify out in the Mournlands, I'm going to do the thing I forgot to do with your Thunderclap. Could you roll a d20, please?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is what joy looks like on Jacob's face.
You're rolling dice. You're having fun.
Wow. So you feel joy a lot when you game with me, Jacob.
Every time we speak, I'm ecstatic. 9.
Okay, the spell works exactly as you'd intend it to. So you learn that this device is supposed to pull a disease out of someone who is diseased and store it inside it. But you also learn that with your Identify that this is slightly flawed, and you're supposed to be able to give that disease to someone you want to impose it on. But sometimes the targeting and the triggering don't quite work entirely as intended.
Yeah, we can give this up, I think. Yep.
All right. So you've cast Identify, and you're heading back. You get back to the Tale of Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you can make it back to Salvation. When you get back to the Tale of Flowers, remember you mentioned that you don't lock the door? It looks like someone has gone in while you've been away. Unless you did lock the door this time, in which case the door's broken. Regardless.
Good Pot's there. Like, she should be manning the station.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we got her for.
So she is slumped, and looks like she has a cut on her scalp. At least you're hoping that's what it is, because scalp cuts can be super shallow but produce an enormous amount of blood. You can't actually see the scalp cut. Her eyes are closed. She's kind of slumped. It looks like people were poking around. The good news is that she kind of wakes up a little as you approach. And she's all like, "This is not what I signed up for." Thank you for watching Dice Friends. This has been episode 2 of Best of Intentions. This episode, like everything we do, has been brought to you by you. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun, or on YouTube by joining as a member of the Loading Ready Run channel. I'm Dale Friesen. I'm an actor, a gamer, an opera singer. You can find me on Twitter at Dale E. Friesen. Jacob, who are you, and where can people find you?
Hi, my name is Jacob Burgess. I am a actor. I'm a writer for both tabletop and video games. I am the community manager and director of operations for an indie video game company called Yisbert Games. People can find me on Twitter at Jacob Burgess VO, or usually on the Yisbert Games Discord, discord.gg/Yisbert Games.
Hey, Corey, who are you?
I'm Corey Dickinson. You can find me on Twitter at Absolar. I work with Loading Ready Run and Tilty House. I do a Kamen Rider O's recap podcast called Greed Watch 2018 that is very close to wrapping up after 3 years. Look for me there.
Thank you. Mr. Camden, who are you?
My name is Andrew Camden, and there is no possible way to know anything about me. I am a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I'm a shadow, and the only way you could possibly know anything about me is to go to andrewcamden.com. But dare you? Dare you?
Well done.
I guess we'll see. And please join us in a week for episode 3 of Best of Intentions.